thought it looked like Hager.
My God, it is Royal Hager. It's 92. Okay. How much is it? $14.99. Hey friends, it's Alex with bfVintage. We are here at a Savers in Phoenix, Arizona. I got my trusted bestie boo here, Miss Lisa, to help me look for treasures. And I got my other friend here, Kylie, who is going to come hang with us while we look for some treasures. So let's do it. So excited to be at Savers. And here's the first thing we saw, which was this crocheted owl. Big fan of owls, and just at first was trying to figure out, what is this thing? Is it wall decor? At first we thought maybe it was broken, but then we realized that those little hooks on the back of the eyes are for the wall, and perhaps it's for hanging a towel. But in any case, it was adorable and very retro, so it went in the cart. Next, I found this very odd looking wooden man, I would guess. And I was investigating it, but it did have some cracks. It had a crack on the bottom there. And then also upon further inspection, there were some cracks on the shoulders and the arms. And so I didn't really want to try to investigate further, knowing that it was that damaged. So I put it back and had to pass. Then I saw this very, very vintage doll. You can tell it's vintage just by looking at it, but obviously she's missing a hand there. So that was heartbreaking, but I still wanted to give her a once over because she was really cool. And she just had that kitschy vibe to her. And so I had to pick her up just to check her out. And then Lisa found a Royal Hager sculpture. We were just trying to identify the year. It did say 1992. It was only $14.99. Looks like a mother and a baby, which is super sweet. And we were just trying to check to see the quality of it. We did notice some scuffs, but they didn't look that bad. It's quite a heavy piece too. And we were just noticing the really nice kind of look like, the mid-century lines of the sculpture there. And yeah, as you can see, we saw a little bit of a scuff there, a little bit of a scuff at the top. So even though this is made in the 90s, I do feel like it still has mid-century, context to it. And for that reason, I was definitely going to put it in the cart and was super stoked that Lisa found that. So nice job, Lisa. So next we found this left-in candle holder. I still looked at it, even though some of the flowers were missing. You can see it had the red label. That's a dead giveaway, obviously, that it's a left-in. So that was kind of a bummer because I'm a sucker for some left-in. So ended up putting that back. And next I saw this glass crystal vase, and I thought it was really, really beautiful and high quality, maybe even made with lead. But upon further inspection, I realized that it was kind of tilting a little bit. So, didn't want to move forward with that because maybe it was a manufacturer error. I don't know. And then I saw this little buggy carriage vintage planter. I don't know why I'm such a sucker for these, but I just love them. I think they're so adorable. I know I had one in my room in the 80s growing up, and it was pink. And so maybe that's what it is. It's like a nostalgic thing. But even though it didn't have a made in Japan sticker, it was only $3.99, and I just felt like it had that quality. So I'll have to research to see how old it is. Next, we found this bell, and it actually did say Jasco, Taiwan, 1981 on the inside. But I just really wasn't sure if it's something that people would be interested in, even though it had the really awesome retro vibrant colors. So I did pass on that. Then I saw this vase and I thought it was beautiful. Loved the designs, but then I noticed that some of the designs were kind of off. Do you see that there? And it was kind of confusing. It's like, okay, so was this hand painted? Was this stamped on? Was this manufactured? Just really unclear. It did have crazing to it, but sometimes modern pieces can have that just to look aged. So it had a made in Japan stamp on the bottom, but I wasn't convinced. I just didn't like the quality of some of the designs and how off they were for $6.99. I didn't want to take that risk. So we moved on, and the next thing that we found was this beautiful hummingbird tile. I just think this is stunning. It was $5.99, and it's definitely got the desert vibes. It says Fiesta Tiles, and it actually says 1983 on the back. So that's vintage, and so I was definitely going to go for that. I don't know if I'm going to sell it or keep it because I love it so much, but we shall see. Then I saw this tile. I was like, oh, okay, we're going to find a bunch of tiles all of a sudden. $4.99. Had, the artist's information on the back, but I just wasn't sure if people would be interested in this type of fish. I didn't even know what kind of fish it was. It wasn't framed, so I did go ahead and leave that there. And then I saw this really beautiful plate underneath all these other plates, so I wanted to investigate further. Isn't it pretty with all the, blues and reds? Now, it has this marking on the back, and I really wish I knew more about these because it could be vintage. I don't know. But when it has, something in another language like that, I don't know what it's saying. So I don't want to take that risk. And then I found this Delft piece. I was really, really excited, and then immediately noticed that there was some damage, some repairs that were made in quite a few places. So somebody really wanted to keep this. But for my purposes, I don't tend to like to resell items that have been repaired like that. And then I saw this clown, and he was really cool. At first glance, I really thought he was going to be vintage, but then, he had a made in China label on the back that was sewn on, and I just, would have to sell him on eBay instead, and I've been focusing more on Etsy. So, even though he was so cute, I love that bow tie. It's everything, but decided to pass. Next, I found this gray clown, and I really loved the tones, but what was so odd, and I'm sorry you can't see it all quite here, but it had made in, and then it was cut off. It was like the full label wasn't on, which was really frustrating because I want to know where it was made. And then the fact that it was $6.99. Well, I'm not going to pay that much for a clown figurine if I don't know where it was made. So I did pass on that one. But then I saw this clown, and he definitely had some age to him. And also I'm not really sure what the feet are made out of. I don't know if it's ceramic or paper mache. Clay. It's kind of hard to tell. But I thought he was really cute, and there may be some people who think he's creepy, but in any case, there are people that love cute clowns and creepy clowns. So I decided I was going to go ahead and get him. So he went in the cart along with all our other treasures. The next thing that I spotted was some Capodimonte, but it did have a lot of wax inside. It was a candle holder. So, and also there was some damage there. I don't know if you could see, it was repaired on one of those back leaves. So for $3.99, I didn't really want to bother with getting all that wax out. Next, I noticed this figurine of this woman. It did say Japan on the bottom. I was super stoked for $4.99 to find her. But I was trying to inspect her, you know, for any issues. And unfortunately, at some point, I noticed there was a giant repair right there at her waist and arm. So even though someone did a great job putting Humpty Dumpty back together again, I, again, am not in the business of buying items that have been repaired like that unless, I mean, I don't know. Actually, I've never done that. So I don't even know if there's an unless. And then I saw her buddy. He likely went with her is what I was speculating, but I really didn't feel like getting just him and not getting them both together because I feel like there'd be more resale value in having a set of the man and the woman together. So for $4.99, I left him behind as well. Next, we found this stained glass sun catcher. Could definitely tell that it was handmade. It did have the thick welding, and it's just got that vintage look to it. So we were really excited to find that because butterflies, you know, are really popular and everybody loves a good butterfly in their life. So, let's see here. It looks like she was $3.99. And so for that price, I was going to go for it because I do think that there is some resale value there. And then the next thing I found was this. At first, I wasn't sure what it was. I knew it was obviously some sort of rack. It turns out it's a belt rack. So made by Dante. I'm going to have to look it up. But I just liked the, you know, mid-century look to it. It's got beautifully made wood with the brass hooks that look like they're, you know, aged a bit. And so for that reason, it went in the cart. And then randomly, we just happened to come across some Cabbage Patch Kids, which I don't really know anything about which ones have value or not. So if you do, please leave me a comment because I do think they're cute. I just, you know, I remember them from childhood, but I don't know which ones have value. And then this doll kind of threw me off because it was made in China. Lastly, I found this, and at first I thought maybe it was vintage, but it actually ended up being modern. And so I ended up putting that one back, guys. But it turns out this video is going to be a two-parter. So this was part one. We did find more treasures. So if you want to check it out, next week I will be posting or dropping the part 2 video. And so anyways, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos, then you've got to subscribe. Till next time, bye.